คะまもなく雪ヶ谷を
I think of all the times we lay looking up out at the stars. Nervous of the way you make me feel. You're setting fire to my heart. Before you, what was that? Don't recognize now. I'm looking back. How I adore you, it can't be matched. No. Ooh, all my love, I have
그래. 내가 써야 되는
perfect, I'm gonna get hurt. But I think they're perfectly wrong. She likes my music, and I like her loud. I'm still playing Monday nights, and I'm stressing over where I'm at. She's a once in a lifetime kind of fun. All I've ever wanted is the best of both worlds. Living life and having fun and loving you, girl. I wanna have my cake and eat it too. I wanna feel that heat and still stay cool. I wanna live my life too good to be true. What I'm trying to say is, I want you. I want you. Only you. I want you. Keep concessions to the popcorn stand. Ain't giving up the life I've got. I'm still betting big on my own hand. But with you, we're both taking the part. Is it so much to ask for everything and some more? my sleeve, on my pants, on my shoes. And if you hurt it, I bleed, I will break, I will bruise. Some have told me to change, to be tough, to be strong. And if you take me this way, yet I love prison now. You know they're always trying to change the way that we're playing the game. But we're not gonna play alone no more. Let's just be us. Let's just be us. And what we've got, you can't fake, you can't make, recreate. It may be different, but baby, I like it that way. You like a puzzle, and I am the remaining piece. And when you put us together, the picture's complete. You know they're always trying to change the way that we're playing the game, but we're not gonna play alone no more. You just be you, and I'll be whatever crazy version of me decides to come through. I like it better that way personally. Let them wonder still, let them say what they will, let them do what they must. Let's just be us. Let's just be us. We're a little bit wild, a little bit strange, but that is the beauty of living this way. We can be who we want and steer our own ship. So promise me, baby, we'll always be like this. Just be. Just be you. Just be you, and I'll be whatever crazy version of me decides to come through. I like it better that way personally. Let them wonder still, let them say what they will, let them do what they must. Let's just be us. Let's just be us.